What's up, boxing fans? This is TBE Boxing back at you again. Today's topic: Redemption Clash. Vasily Lomachenko versus Masayoshi Nakatani. The pre-fight analysis. Let's chop it up and see what it's all about.
Got the money for minutes, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That life for riches, huh? That life for riches, huh? Pretty bitch, show me titties, huh? And I got the glazzy run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.
Okay, boxing fan, let's talk some boxing. You know the fight's coming up tonight. Lomachenko versus Nakatani. Should be an interesting fight. As we all know, this is Lomachenko's first fight since his loss to Teofimo, Lopez, and so we're getting ready to see what Lomachenko is looking like in his comeback. Now, the irony in this fight is that Nakatani is even bigger than Teofimo. So, that was a big issue with the fight with Teofimo. Lomachenko was a smaller guy in that fight. Teofimo was much bigger and stronger. And in this fight, Nakatani is even bigger than Teofimo was. So, probably about almost as strong, close to it, if not as strong. So, basically, it looks like Lomachenko is jumping out of the frying pan right into the fire. So, this should be an interesting fight, to say the least. We're going to get to see, like I said, where Lomachenko is. But again, this guy is even a bigger guy than, Teofimo. So we're going to see how, this fight play out. But, as we all saw, Nakatani is a pretty good fighter. We saw him against Zepeda. We saw him against Teofimo himself, in which I would say that of all the people that fought Teofimo so far, Nakatani probably put up the best fight, so far against Teofimo. So Nakatani is a pretty good fighter. So, this is going to make this fight with Lomachenko even more interesting, in that I think it was Nakatani that gave Teofimo his toughest fight to date. Okay, so now, in this fight, again, Teofimo, not Teofimo, but Nakatani had the height and reach advantage against Lomachenko, just like Teofimo did. But like I said, Nakatani is even bigger than Teofimo, so he's taller. So this, is going to be present a similar situation for Lomachenko. He's going to fight a bigger guy with a longer reach. So we're going to see what, in this fight, I guess defense, speed and defense is going to be key for Lomachenko. You got to be able to slip punches and make Nakatani pay when he misses. So, Lomachenko going to have to go back to the old matrix Lomachenko and really, have good foot movement in this fight to be able to beat Nakatani. It's all going to depend on his movement, foot movement to be exact in this fight, against Nakatani, I would think, because he's gonna have to have defense, and he's gonna have to, give Nakatani angles. And I said when Nakatani misses, he's gonna have to make Nakatani pay. Okay, and so he's gonna have to keep the fight, on the inside much of the time against Nakatani. Okay, because he's not gonna be able to reach him from the outside, so he's gonna have to be at mid-range or close in. So Lomachenko got his work cut out for him, I would think, in this fight. Nakatani is a big, strong guy, and since he fought, Teofimo and Zepeda and all those guys, he's got that experience under his belt right now. You know what I mean? So, it's not like it's not as if Nakatani is some green kid, coming fresh out, off the farm or something like that. He's a seasoned fighter at this rate, at this point in his career. And, looking to get up into the big time, which is where he is, fighting a guy like Lomachenko, but he's looking to get a title shot against Teofimo possibly. So, it's a lot of stake for both of these guys in this fight. So I'm thinking that Nakatani is gonna come into this fight, with a lot of motivation. But then again, so is Lomachenko because he wants a rematch with uh, Teofimo. Now I've heard that Lomachenko is saying that what he learned from his fight with Teofimo is that you can't get the time back. So he's referring to the fact that in his first fight with in the fight with Teofimo, for the first half of the fight he did nothing, and lost all the rounds on the cards, and then he tried to come back, starting in the seventh round and was not able to come back and to overcome all the points he had lost. So I heard that's what he's saying. He had learned. I mean, if you learn that now, I don't know what to tell you. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But so that's what he claimed he has learned from that fight. So we'll see. I guess that's just saying that from now on he's gonna get an early start in his fights. But we all know in that fight with Teofimo that he couldn't get an early start because Teofimo was just too strong for him, too big and strong for him in the first half of the fight, and he was waiting for some of the sting to come off of those punches from Teofimo, during the second half of the fight when you figure he'd be a little more fatigued. And so that was the whole strategy. And, it worked for the most part, but he just, Lomachenko just didn't get enough output in the second half of the fight. I mean, he could have won the fight if he had the right amount of output. I was able to pressure, Teofimo more than he did to put him down at least, but he didn't do that, so he lost the fight. So it is what it is. But yeah, so this fight with Nakatani should be interesting. I mean, like I said, both of these guys got a lot at stake. We're gonna see where Lomachenko really is, and also where Nakatani is. At this level. But again, Nakatani is a naturally bigger, stronger guy in this fight. And I'm thinking that, he does have some skills. So it might be a difficult fight for Lomachenko, based on that. And plus he has lost his aura of invincibility, since his loss to Teofimo. Now he had lost before his loss to Teofimo because he had lost to another fighter in the second fight, I believe it was. No, his first fight. In his first pro fight he had lost. But I mean, and then he lost to Teofimo, so he has 2 losses in his record now. So but he has, but he still had this aura of invincibility, even though he had 1 loss in his record previously, and so he kind of lost that aura right now. So Nakatani is not going to be too intimidated, I don't think, by him. I don't think he'd be intimidated anyway. Even Lomachenko hasn't lost, but that's not going to be play a part in this fight, I don't think, So at this point, Lomachenko is looking, vulnerable, not looking vulnerable, but looking human, to his opponents. And so, they might come in there with, you come in there with the right motivation, they might come in there, they're going to give him a fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be a fight for Lomachenko. It's not going to be an easy fight. So we're going to see. It should be interesting to see, how it plays out. Who's going to win? I mean, I don't know. I guess we have to give Lomachenko the benefit of the doubt, but again, right now all I can say is that this should be a 50-50 fight. I mean, I'm thinking it's a 50-50 fight. Probably even a little bit in favor of Nakatani at this point, based on what we have seen of Lomachenko, at this point in his career. So it's going to be a uphill battle, but you never know. You can't count Lomachenko out because he is the Matrix after all. So we're going to have to see, if there's still one. If this is part 2 of the Matrix, part 3 or, whatever. So let's see how it plays out. But maybe Lomachenko could outbox him, But that Lomachenko, it has to be the Lomachenko that fought, it has to be the old Lomachenko, the one that's moving around the ring, the one that's giving a lot of movement. It has to be that. You have to go back to the Matrix to beat this guy Nakatani. He could do it, but he has to go back into that old Matrix Lomachenko to pull it off. He can't be the Lomachenko that fought Teofimo. If that Lomachenko shows up, the one that fought Teofimo, Nakatani is going to win this fight hands down. Okay? But if the old Matrix Lomachenko turns up, that slips, give the other fighter, put the other fighter off balance, the defensive wizardry, the offensive wizardry. If we could see that Lomachenko, then Lomachenko will win the fight. Other than that, he's gonna lose. So that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave that there for right now. So we're gonna see the fights coming up soon. In less than in the next 2 hours or so. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Okay, go to tbeboxing.com. Like and subscribe to the channel. Donate to the channel. This is TBE Boxing saying that's all I have for right now. I'm out.